Good evening. A scary situation for a North Lloydminster neighborhood early this morning as police barricaded the area to deal with a standoff. Nearby residents were asked to stay in their basements as RCMP took control of the situation. Barb Pediasek caught up with a neighbor who saw it all unfold.
Come and look, she says, something's happened. The carloads of police, someone was standing out in the street with looks like shotguns and that. And I said, holy smokes, this was 2:30 in the morning.
Irvin Gaylord had a good view from his kitchen window. He lives across the street and says it all came as a bit of a shock.
I'm 88 years old, and by God, that's the first time I was that close to, I don't know, it must have been something, suicide or whatever it was.
Staff Sergeant Dave Callis says they received the call in the early hours.
When our members arrived, a male had barricaded himself in a residence, and it was believed that he had a firearm. So as a result, we called the emergency response team from Edmonton.
Phone rang and there was a lady on the RCMP, and she says to go downstairs and stay downstairs until I was told to come up.
Which is exactly what Irvin did. Along with his wife and son, they spent the rest of the night downstairs until they ventured upstairs early this morning to see what was going on.
Ambulance drove up shortly after 7, and there was no. He went and talked to someone there. I don't know who it was, and he left. So it was. I thought, well, they just come and gone. There's nothing there. That nobody picked up or nothing. Nobody hurt, and all of a sudden it looked like the hearse pulled up. He took someone out on the stretcher. He was strapped on the stretcher, and he took him out and sat on the back. And at that time, I got a phone call and said everything was clear.
Details are still scarce at the moment as the standoff is currently under investigation. Police won't confirm if it was a suicide, but say they weren't responsible for the man's death. Reporting from the north side of Lloydminster, Bart Pediasek, Newcap News.
2 men have been charged in connection with the homicide on the Moosomin First Nation over the weekend. 19-year-old Taryn Lee Cote from the Salto First Nation and 18-year-old Troy Andrew Swift-Wolf from Moosomin First Nation have been charged with second-degree murder. The victim, 24-year-old Brian Darnell Blackstar, died on scene. A cause of death hasn't been released. Both males appeared in North Battleford Provincial Court today and are slated to appear again on March 5th. Fire crews were kept busy this morning in Coal Lake battling a stubborn house fire. The Coal Lake Fire Rescue Team was sent out to 17 Miller Crescent just after 9 this morning. Now, one person was inside at the time but escaped unharmed. The fire started in the attic and took its course from there. Coal Lake's fire chief says they had to fight the fire from both inside and outside and says that they used almost all of their resources.
In total, 2 fire stations were toned out. 15 to 25 firefighters showed up, and we had 6 pieces of fire apparatus on scene, which included 2 pumpers, a rescue, an aerial unit, and 2 light-duty trucks as well.
The blaze took almost 6 hours to extinguish completely because of the location of the fire. Chief Jeff Fallow says when a fire is on the top floor, it can cause hot spots and different challenges in fighting it.
Any fire that gets into the attic and roof space is really tough to get at the best of times. So once it's in there, your only options are to get on and ventilate or fight it from underneath. And we did a little bit of each initially, and once it was unsafe on the roof, everything was done from underneath, and we pulled some ceiling down to get at the fire above us.
The fire is still being investigated but is not deemed suspicious at this time. Meanwhile, a damage estimate has not been determined just yet. Well, as of today, construction is complete on a brand new building for some city staff. Planning and engineering, as well as the Public Works Department, will be moving their offices to the Operations Centre. Anka Notvate brings us the report.
Still a bit of finishing off to do.
3 buildings are on the new site, a 4,800 square foot office building, a shop and a storage unit to house equipment. Anticipated costs were $40 million for the project, and staff say they stayed on budget. By having planning and engineering staff at the same location as city maintenance, Peter McHugh says this is one of the benefits of the move as the departments work together on a regular basis.
So as we build new roads in the engineering department, we pass them over to the public works to maintain them. So now we're in the same building, so that transition should be a lot smoother.
He also says a key upgrade is in store for the public works department.
Our mechanics are working out of 2 bays which are very small, very antiquated, and some of the vehicles don't even fit in when they need to work on them, so they have to have the doors open, and that's not a good idea in the winter.
Now the public works staff are moving later in March. Altogether 140 staff will move, but Hughes says they've designed the building with expansions in mind.
It's very important because we don't want to find ourselves in 5 years thinking about a new building. So, you know, it was key to it. It was very important to us to make sure that we had a building that would function for at least 25 years.
The building has been under construction for over a year, and as of February 6th, planning and engineering will be officially located here. When you need those compliance certificates, subdivision and development permits, this is where you'll come. Annika Notfate, Newcap News.
Are you looking for a new four-legged friend for your family? Well, in this week's Pet Project, Jenny from the SPCA introduces us to a playful cat, a guinea pig, and a playful dog named Conan.
Down. Good boy. This is Conan. Conan is a 2-year-old male shepherd cross. He's neutered, current on vaccinations, and he's also microchipped. Conan is a really sweet boy. He can be a little bit shy when meeting you at first, but he quickly becomes your best friend. Conan loves affection, and he also loves to play. He has a very unique look to him and a unique personality, and he's easily became a favorite here at the SPCA. If you're looking for a best friend, come on down to the SPCA and meet Conan. Meet Vivian. Vivian is a female guinea pig. Vivian loves to be picked up, held, and cuddled, and she also loves receiving fresh fruits and vegetables, and she'll tell you so. She makes the cutest little squeaking noises. Guinea pigs are a great starter pet for anyone. If you think that Vivian would be a great fit for your home, come on down to the SPCA and meet her. This is Alicia. Alicia is a 1-year-old female calico. She's current on vaccinations, not yet spayed, and she'll be microchipped at the time of adoption. Alicia lives for affection. She loves to get cuddles and snuggles, and if you're lucky, she'll even give you some sandpaper kisses. She's also very active, loving to play. Alicia would be a great fit for any home. Come on down to the SPCA and meet Alicia.